Welcome back YouTube, KRoad17 here with a brand new F1 2019 video. We are at the Mexican Grand Prix, nearing the end of the season, so we're going to dive right on board into qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying here in Mexico, where the cars will be going out on track very shortly and battling it out to secure pole for tomorrow's Grand Prix. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Ferme regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
So coming into this race, I usually like the Mexican Grand Prix, but for some reason this car, I feel like I say that a lot, but this car wasn't feeling quite right. I had a lot of understeer and a lot of oversteer, so I was pushing as best as I could to see where I could come out on top of qualifying. Hopefully I could get myself into a Q2 appearance, but as you guys will see, rounding the stadium section, very cool section of this Mexican Grand Prix. It actually used to be an old baseball stadium that they carved out and put this track kind of right through it. So, I mean, fun little fact for you. But here we are going to cross the line. And where are we going to finish qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix? A very lonely 19th. I feel like I just ran qualifying in a complete Williams car. So there you guys have it. Our teammate actually is 10th for Q1. So I mean, GG to him. So we're going to dive into it. We actually beat out Grosjean, who didn't set a time. But we're going to move on to the race.
The air may be thin here in Mexico City, the atmosphere is anything but. The crowd have been chanting and singing, not just this afternoon, but throughout the entire weekend. There's a great love for Formula One here, and no small amount of expectation. Let's hope today's Grand Prix can meet it. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about rows. No grid penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Sergio Perez, and Stroll, Leclerc, Gasly, Ricciardo, and Kevin Magnussen. Norris, Butler, Alexander Albon, and Raikkonen, Sainz, Weber, Rose, and Roman Grosjean. Hulkenberg and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Aye, Jeff. I'm going to do my best, but as you guys can see, I'm playing with the race strategy. It was soft, medium, and medium, and I felt like that wasn't really what I wanted to run. So I wanted that quick stint at the end, maybe to go for the fastest lap, so I opted for a medium to soft to have that nice little kick jolt at the end. But here we are, gearing up for the Mexican Grand Prix, waiting for those 5 red lights to go. 5 red lights are lit, and we are away for the Mexican Grand Prix. We get an average start. A lot of the AI are a lot better. Everybody knows that so far. But here we are. Grosjean, who didn't set a time, is literally flying, and we have Hulkenberg right behind us. So we're going to want to take it easy into this first turn. Hulkenberg kind of gives us a little bit of a look on the inside, but we're going to give him, we get dicey. We get tapped in the back by, I believe it was Hulkenberg, but here's Russell squeezing us out wide to the left. It is getting very punchy, so I'm going to mind my own business here for a bit and settle into this race, seeing that we are on the mediums and a lot of guys look like they are on the softs. And here we are maybe pushing for a move around Sands, and that might have been my fault, so I backed out, gave him back the position. But here we have Russell pushing us a little bit, but we're going to keep that one clean. Grosjean right ahead of us and Sands right ahead of us. This is going to be a little punchy. These guys are going to be a lot quicker at the beginning, but as you can see, Grosjean going relatively slow. He is on the mediums now that I can notice it. So we're going to keep with him as much as we can, but he might hold us up. If we have to, we're going to have to make a move as quick as we can as he locks up and I lock up in the process. So we're kind of trying to get around him. Being very careful not to run into his gearbox. We have Sands right ahead. We have Weber ahead of Sands. Can we get up to them? We're going to have to get around Grosjean first. And we get a good last run out of that corner. And we're going to go for the inside move. Throw it into overtake in rich mode. Looks like the Haas engine has nothing on this Alpha engine. And that looks to be like a clean move on the inside. So we're going to follow and try to catch up to Sands. Here we are, lap 4. We have got back up to Sands.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
Getting very racy in front of us. Weber, Sands, all going after it. And Sands gets a really good move. He might even get Albon here. Gives Weber a little bit of a tap on the wheel. I think Weber, to be fair, turned into Sands' back wheel. Sands is making moves here around Weber and Albon. Can we do the same? It looks like Sands pulls right in front of Albon, makes him go slow. Weber collects Albon. Can we make a move on Albon? Go very wide, but we do, and we get out risk-free from collecting him.
Nice move. Good job.
Jeff applauds that. I thought it was a little dangerous, but we push on. We have Weber right ahead of us. We're trying to keep with Sands, and as you guys can see in the little distance there, our teammates up there. Can we get up near him? We actually do eventually get around Weber and Sands and Norris for that matter. We pull right behind Kimi. So I'm really pushing, and you guys can see I lock up and I almost chuck the car here. That was a bold move, and I was lucky enough to catch the car as much as I could, but we lose out to trying to make a move on Kimi. As you can see, we're too far behind. We are catching that slipstream, but it's going to be far too late to make a clean move, so I back off of that and allow Kimi to stay ahead of us, as he might give us a little tow to catch some of the cars ahead of us. But yeah, I mean, that was a bit scary. But here we are, lap 9. We're going to get a better run out of this final chicane and try to get past our teammate. Let's keep this clean as we try to pass our teammate.
We advise moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Jeff wants us to throw it into mix 2. We are getting a little low on fuel. We're still positive by plus 30, so I mean, well, not plus 30, plus 0.34 now as we chuck it back down to standard. But we do get around Kimi. So now Butler, our nice little F2 rival, is right ahead of us. But here we are, we're going to chuck it into the pits for our first pit stop, I believe. Hamilton, quickest man on track right now.
Pit now.
Diving into the pits like Jeff asked us to. It's actually a better pit entrance. I'm actually getting a little bit better throughout the season. I'm trying to really focus on getting into the pits and getting out of the pits. I've
Exit now.
done a little bit of practice, so I mean, hopefully I can improve there. But here we are exiting the pit. Here comes Kimi to pass us.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
So here we are coming out of the pits. We're going to get passed by Norris and we're going to get passed by Albon. We have Sands right behind us, but we squeeze in between Albon and Sands. These two right ahead of us lock up, and it's going to get a little bit dicey, so we are out on fresh mediums. We do have that soft compound waiting for us at the end of this race.
Caution. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
I can't tell who that is parked on the left-hand side, but somebody went off. But as you can see, not a single virtual safety car, or a safety car in that matter. In fact, we haven't seen a single safety car in this entire series yet. But maybe one day it will come out. Maybe they'll decide that Mercedes wants to pay for it. But here we are, Raikkonen getting really racy with Ricciardo and Butler. We're following them, trying to pick our moment. But you know, these guys go really slow, so I have to check up a little bit. Easy not to run into the back of their gearbox. Kimmy's going to have DRS. Butler's going to have DRS. I'm going to have DRS. But as you can see, Kimmy gets right around Butler, and we're going to pull to the outside of Butler and maybe look for a move. But we go a little bit too in deep, but we actually get it stick. Butler backs out, as that's kind of, you know, surprising. But now we have Ricardo, as Kimmy got right around Ricardo. Can we keep up with Ricardo? And Ricardo's gonna go really slow. I don't know if it's the racing point, but we have to go and really back ourselves because he goes really slow through the chicane. So I'm gonna stay absolutely conscious with this guy in front of us. I don't know if Ricardo has a problem. As we lock up a little bit, he's going a lot slower into the corners. I can't tell if maybe he has a engine problem or he's saving fuel or his brakes are overheating. Last chicane, we're going to push and see if we can get around Ricardo. We might even have a look at Kimmy because Kimmy's not too far ahead. We're going to have DRS on both of these guys. Kimmy's going to be a sitting duck as DRS is open. Chuck it into Rich and overtake. Kimmy's right there, so we're going to go for the outside and get past both of them, it looks like. Brake late, but easy not to lock up. Get a little bit tucked into that chicane, but it looks like we have made it through, and we've gotten a 2-for-1 deal there. But we're going to dive into the pits one last time and pit for what I've been waiting for this whole race, that set of softs. Can we push for maybe a quickest lap of the race? But ultimately we are not going to stay P6, as you guys can see. We're going to come out a lot later than that. Dive into the pits. Crew throws on those softs. We're on our way out. There goes Perez. Looks like Kimmy's going to get around us. Looks like Ricardo's going to get around us.
Strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
Strategy on the pits has been completed. We get out ahead of Butler, so that's good news. But ultimately, we've fallen behind Ricardo and Raikkonen, so we're going to have to push and pretty much make up work that we've already completed. But, I mean, with the brand new set of softs, it shouldn't be that much of a task. As you guys can see, by the end of the lap, I have caught up to Ricardo.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tires need to go the distance.
They will go to the distance as we have DRS on Ricardo. We're pulling that slipstream to go for the outside look and sail right past him. So that is just the difference right now between the Racing Points engine and the Alfa Romeo's engine. It's simple. We have a better engine. Next lap through, we actually set the quickest time, and Raikkonen gets a really slow run as we go sailing past him with ease. Maybe Team Motors rolled in and called him and told him, hey, don't hold your teammate up, because he is the quickest man on track. As you can see, lap 31 of 36, we have caught up to Perez. Can we get past him and maybe look for a P9? He's going to leave the door open a little bit on the inside, so we're going to have a look. And we're going to go really late on the brakes as we lock up. But we do get around him as he backs off. Careful not to make contact with us. So, I mean, I appreciate that, Perez. Not the cleanest overtake on my part, but that is job done. Maybe he let us go through because he knew that we are ultimately on the softs and he was a medium. So we were going to be quicker. But next up is Stroll. Stroll having one heck of a race here. He's up to P8 in the Racing Point, so maybe they have found something midway through the season, but we're going to throw it into overtake, and Rich, DRS is open.
The battery is low on energy. Reduce ERS deployment.
Jeff warning us that ERS is very low. As I look down, and I can see I have absolutely none. So I chuck it into off, basically like none, so I can save, but I don't think Stroll's really going to have much to tackle us with. Lap 36, the final lap of this Grand Prix, and we haven't been able to catch Magnussen. Valtteri Bottas actually picks up the win here at the Mexican Grand Prix, and we're just, I mean, I can be happy with P8 after where we qualified. I thought this was going to be a throwaway race, like I wasn't going to get anything from it, but I think switching the tire strategy from soft to medium from, you know, medium to soft really helped us give that punch at the end that we could get ourselves in the points. Go from the back of the pack to P8, salvage some points for Alfa Romeo.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So let's review the updated driver standings. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Rose. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula 1 action soon.
Tough race, but P8 is not that bad. Driver of the day, I will take it, and we're going to move on to the race interview.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Lucas flew through the pack in that race. What's his secret?
Why all the questions about Weber? I played it nice. When you have a great team behind you, there are no secrets.
Would you say that your rival is still on your level?
Finally, a good question. I have a lot of respect for Kimi, which I do in real life, and I believe that he pushes me a lot.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to leave you off with the race highlights, and cheers. We'll see you in the next one.